Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. So again, I don't look at them beforehand. I don't know what you send.
Okay.
So you're taking me on a journey, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to learn about you through the images.
And you're going to ask me questions, right?
Probably.
Okay.
We're going to talk. We're just going to talk. Okay, so first I have to, it's a podcast centered on photos. So in this case, it's a photo of a selfie. A very handsome young man is holding the camera away. He's got this beautiful gristled sort of quasi-beard, whatever. And then kind of nuzzled in tight, you're holding up a book, Beyond Bullshit to Bliss. What? Beyond Bullshit to Bliss.
Yes.
Okay, so it's the photo is made in it looks like a studio or a kitchen or something, a living room. It's very bright outside. You can't really see the outside. Beyond Bullshit to Bliss. I love the title. Now, where are you taking us? Sam Spiro.
So this picture was the day that Noah, who is my husband, and I received the first proof of our book. And we have called that book Beyond Bullshit to Bliss. And the subtitle is A Transformative Guide to Finding Self-Love, Abundance, and In-Lightenment, as in I-N, Lightenment, and not E-N. So this was, I think this was end of March. I can't remember exactly. Beginning, sometime maybe early April. And after working on it for months with a good team of freelancers, we finally got the freelance copy. So this is amazing, because it's the birth of our baby.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Well, so what you don't know about me is that I have been in the world of books and publishing and writing and all that stuff. And I've had a few authors on the podcast. Authors tend to want to talk about what they've done. In the photo, you're smiling, like you're both just looking at, I guess it looks like a phone selfie, not a camera selfie.
Yeah.
You're both looking at it, at the camera with a kind of a neutral expression. And what's great is that the center of the image is your hand holding up this book. The cover image, so the top half of the book is black, and then the bottom half looks like this road leading into a sky or into, I mean, it's just blues and greens.
And the yellow.
And yellow, okay. And
here, I'm going to show you.
So I know, oh, look at that. There we go. Oh, congratulations. Nice.
Yes.
So you're holding up the book.
Yes.
So I know about books, and calling it your baby. Of course, it's a baby. It takes a long time to craft. Probably harder. I mean, babies just kind of happen organically in your body, or in one's body. But a book is, by the time it's published, many authors are just like, if I never see this book again, that'll be fine. You need a little bit of time to kind of
absolutely
come back from the birth. Okay, so talk to me about your book.
Okay, so this book, well, it did take 3 years. It took 3 years from start to finish. So I could have given birth to 2 baby elephants in that time, I believe.
Wow.
And it all came about, I think what happened was after it was COVID and my husband and I were reunited. Basically, I went off to India to do a yoga teacher training course. He went off to Bali to recover from surgery. And we got locked down alone from each other for 6 months.
Oh, shit.
Indeed. But I'm not going to go into that too much right now because that's for another book. But let's just say that after 6 months of being separated, we finally found ourselves reunited. We got married. And then we found ourselves in Greece.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. And 5 days after getting to Greece, we got locked down again. So we were in Crete in Greece. We were locked down together. Everything is shut. And it was okay. I need to write the story of what happened in India. So I'm typing away. I must have written 80,000 words of one book. And I have a friend who's a literary agent who said to me, oh no, don't write your memoir first, write a self-help book, because that will become, she said, write your self-help book, then write your memoir. So I'm like, do I know how to write a self-help book? Who knows? But obviously, you know, books. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And I literally sat down for 1 month and I wrote 110,000 words in a month.
Oh, wow.
Which is 2 self-help books.
Yep. Amazing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you land on the, okay, so you don't sound Australian to me, but it's an Australian title in the sense of the brashness and whatever. And right now you're in, or maybe you are Australian, but because right now you're in Brisbane. And
yes.
So it's a very, like, I love the energy of it and the sort of like beyond bullshit to bliss. Okay. So that what that says is everything else up until that point of that awakening is bullshit. So how do you get beyond bullshit? Like, what is that about?
Okay, so I'm not sure really what you're asking, but the way we define bullshit, I'm going to jump in. Tell me if I'm wrong. The way we define bullshit, or if you pick up the Oxford Dictionary and you look you look up bullshit, it will define it as something that's nonsense, okay, or a lie. So basically, what we're saying is, and this book, it goes in line with our own journey, and we're talking about the bullshit of the mind. So that is, for example, all of the stories we tell ourselves, all of the narratives we tell ourselves, everything that we experience, say in our formative years between 0 to 7, 9, 14. And basically we take on board those visions, those pictures, as you like, and we then make them mean things, right or wrong. And then based on that, a whole life story is created on how we saw those pictures, defined those pictures, felt about those pictures. And then basically everything that happens in life is then ticked off against those pictures and the meaning that we gave to those pictures as we were growing up. So I retrained in cognitive behavioral hypnotherapy, psychology and psychotherapy, et cetera, et cetera. So based on that understanding and based on what I went through and based on what happened to me when I got to India, and previously I'd been to India a few years before, and I'd sat with a Zen master because I'd sat in Sai Kung, and for the last 7 years of my Sai Kung life, I was very, very unhappy. I was very lonely, and yet it was hugely cathartic as well. Hugely cathartic for me. Because I retrained in cognitive behavior. That's when I started retraining in therapy. So it became very clear to me that all of this work, all of this therapy, all of life had not helped me shift my bullshit. And by that, I mean something very heavy, you know, the heaviness, the burden of the story that we carry, of how we define ourselves, what we believe about ourselves and others, and what's happened to us in our life. And as you know, you probably know or don't know based on your own journey, there have probably been things as well that have made you, worn you down. As you said, you had a big accident. So it's things that weigh us down. It's things that make us miserable. It's things that make us feel not good enough. And we all have a version of not good enough that we feel less than. All of that is the bullshit. So the next question, I guess, is going to be, how do you get beyond the bullshit to the bliss? And this is part of what I discovered when I was in India, the third time round after I'd sat with the Zen master in Pune, is that we can all do it, right? Every single human is wired to live beyond the bullshit. This is what the Buddha discovered 2,400 years ago. So we can all do it. We're all inherently trained to actually go beyond the stories that we tell ourselves. I think the first point of going beyond the bullshit is to recognize that it's bullshit, right? So, for example, what I say to people is the fastest way to know whether you're in the bullshit is, do you feel tense? Do you feel heavy? Do you feel as if you're, carrying the burden of the world on your shoulders? If you are, that's a state of lack. Bottom line, burden, tension, heaviness is lack. And that's the clearest example you could possibly need to say, okay, I need to shift something here. I need to become I need to shift myself through this bullshit. Go, okay, I'm feeling tense. This means I'm buying into some story about me, about something. In this moment, can I, number one, take a breath? Can I step back? Can I go, okay, this doesn't feel good. This is, by definition, some lie I'm telling you. You don't even need to know what the lie is, really. You don't even know what the bullshit is, really. You just need to know, okay, I don't feel good. Therefore, I need to do something about, I do need to do something about it. So to get beyond it, what I discovered was that if you go through a process of, first you think to yourself, okay, I don't want to think that. I don't want to feel that. It's not bypassing. This is different to bypassing. This is saying, basically, I'm an infinite being. I can choose to feel and think. Nothing's set in stone in my head. No one, there's no, God up there did not go, you will think these things about yourself or about other people. It's not set in stone, right? So if we know that we are this, we're infinite, if we are connected through this conscious awareness or nature, whoever's listening, there are different ways of explaining it. But if we know that we're all connected, if we know that nothing's set in stone, if we know that we don't start and we don't end, we're more than just a body, then I don't have to believe anything in my head. I don't have to believe the bullshit that I tell myself about myself and others 24/7. Just saying that is part of it.
Yes. You just lit firecrackers. They're just popping in my head. So thank you for that. Now, what's interesting is I haven't recorded an episode in about a month. So this is like getting back, so this is really nice, really great. This is kind of fantastic. And in my personal life, what's been happening? Okay, so sorry. One, I interrupt all the time. Two, I don't really ask questions. I talk, and then the person says, "Is there a question?" I'm like, "Well, pretend there was, and you answer that," which you did perfectly. And just know, because we have to move on to the next photo, but just know that what you just said right there hits home right between the eyes, right in the gut, really hard. I'm going to try not to cry while I talk to you, but yeah, what you just said really hit home. And I think from that point, I think we need to move on to your next image. Is that okay?
Yes, please. Well, cry if you must.
So is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw.